Party's on. Maciel versus Martinez. Step forward, please.
27-year-old accountant Maria Maciel is suing the father of her child, 25-year-old postal worker Christopher Martinez, for his half of a loan they had together. Christopher says the loan was for her bills.
Order. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 511 on the calendar in the matter of Maciel versus Martinez. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Two of you live together for a period of time, not married, but have a child together.
Yes.
A boy. According to your complaint, Ms. Maciel, you have a loan that was taken out. It was a joint loan. There is a remaining balance on that loan of about $3,500.
Right.
You want him to pay half.
Right.
His defense is that that loan was taken out to cover your bills, bills that you had, credit card bills accumulated while before you were together. He's not responsible for those, that you had always paid that loan yourself. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And he says that the motivation for you bringing this suit today is because you have been to court for child support for the son that you have together, that he does pay child support, but not in the amount that you want. That's your defense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first, tell me about the initial loan that you took out.
The initial loan was back in April of '97, and it was for $6,000, and we paid off 3 credit cards.
Just a second. So from the $6,000, you spent how much on your bills?
I'm not sure because they were credit cards. The credit cards were in my name.
They were credit cards these were your debts.
Right, but that we had both occurred. We
No,
both
not even
charged
according
on
to
them.
you. That's not true. According to you, the original note, according to your complaint, was for $5,000, not $6,000. Are you chewing
that
gum?
was a typo.
Are you chewing gum?
Yes.
Take it out. Quote, when we first got together, we took out a loan, $500, to pay off credit cards that we owed and have money in savings. That's what you wrote here. In '97, you say you refinanced the loan back up to $5,000. So here we have, according to you, 2 typos. Should have been $6,000. All right. Let me see the monies that were paid on this original loan, and let me see the papers that you give me all her papers. I got to figure this out. You're showing me a lot of credit card stuff. What's that for?
That's what we paid off with the loan.
When was this original loan taken out? In '97 or '96?
I don't know.
Well, it was much before this.
Yeah.
So the first loan was for $5,000. This was for $6,000.
Right.
That was later. The original loan you took out was $5,000, and that was for your debt.
Right.
You didn't make all the payments on that $5,000 loan. You still owed, according to you, $2,200.
Right.
Then you refinanced it back up to $6,000.
Right.
But you still owe the kitty, madam, $2,200.
But by the time we got that loan, the balance was only...
No, now you're fudging.
No.
Now you're fudging, because now you know where I'm going.
No.
Now you know where I'm going. Oh, sure you do. Now, who is paying this loan?
I've been making the payments the whole time.
And what were you paying for?
My bills, my credit cards, my department store cards, etc.
Okay.
Your Honor, one of those credit cards that we paid off with that loan was Capital One, and that was his credit card.
Soccer World, Warner Brothers, Jeans West, Grand Auto. Does that sound right to you, sir, that those are your
yes.
bills?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Probably.
So, out of the $6,000 that you took out, she says that the bill that she says that they paid off was joint was $474. This is going to be another mathy. Okay. Let's figure this out. Out of the $5,000 that you originally took out, you had $2,200 that you still owed on that when you refinanced it up to $6,000 again.
Right.
There's $3,500 left. I'm going to give you credit for what he says were strictly his obligations, which are $474 because that paid off his credit card.
Plus $838 went into his checking or savings that we didn't pay anything off with.
Is that right?
No, ma'am, I don't believe so.
The check is in your hand, ma'am.
And if it did, I believe we had a joint checking account.
Well, that's a problem. When you're not married, you don't have joint checking accounts. That's just dumb.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Judy. Maria Maciel claims the father of her child, postal worker Christopher Martinez, owes for half a loan they had together.
What kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a postal carrier.
Do you visit with your son?
Yes, ma'am.
When do you see him?
Since I have rotating days off during the week, whenever I have a day off, I got the day before and the day after, and then every other weekend.
Mm-hmm. And do you work?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
Work for a county clerk for a printing company.
I assume that you were disappointed with the child support award that you were awarded when you went to family court.
Not really, ma'am.
You were satisfied with it?
Well, he was already paying me some of that, and they just increased it by $24, which was fine.
Was it fine?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. All right. So giving you credit, sir, for everything that you're supposed to get credit for, and subtracting what I believe were actually her debts, and subtracting what I believe you put in your own accounts and to cover your own personal credit card out of the second loan, half of the remaining amount I am attributing to you during the time that you were living together in this almost married relationship. So I'm awarding her a judgment in the amount of $1,306. That's all.
Are you excused? You may step out.
We were together for 4 years, and I feel that, you know, he does have to pay for half that loan, regardless of where the money went.
I think it was a little too much. She was a little too generous for her.
And now the next case.
All parties on Caudill Langford versus Lease. Step forward, please.
13-year-old Matthew Langford and his mother, Sherry Caudill Barlow, are suing the girlfriend of Matthew's late father, Donna Lease, for his father's possessions.
You're Matthew.
Yes.
Matthew, Miss Lease was your father's longtime girlfriend. They lived together for how many years?
Going on 4.
And you had a nice relationship with your dad?
Yes.
But he passed away.
Yes.
And this lawsuit was brought by your mother on your behalf because you say that the defendant has property that was your father's that should be yours.
Yes.
Is that what this case is about? How long had you been divorced from Matthew's father?
9 years. We had been separated almost 11.
Okay, so since Matthew was 2.
Yes.
Matthew, did you used to go to visit your dad?
All the time.
And Miss Lease treated you well?
Yes.
You had a nice relationship with her?
Yes.
Now, can you tell me what it is that you want?
The couch, the love seat, 2 end tables, a coffee table, a gold necklace, an autograph picture that had Lou Gehrig on it.
Let me see the list.
Order.
Just a second. Now, Matthew, let's start with this. Let's talk about a couch. Miss Lease and your dad lived together. Are you talking about the couch that was in their house?
Yes.
Well, why do you think that that couch should be yours?
Because it was my father's.
Well, don't you think that your father would want Miss Lease to have a furnished house? Don't you
Yes.
have a couch in your house?
Yes.
So let's leave the couch alone. Matthew. Now let's go to the next item on your list. That's a love seat. Is that the same thing?
Yes.
All right. So we're not going to talk about the love seat or the end tables or the coffee tables. Now let's get to gold necklaces. Are those your father's?
Yes.
Let's talk about the gold necklaces, Miss Lease.
I bought them for him. I bought them for Harold, and I think out of 4 years,
I should have something to remember him by. I mean, I bought them for him, and I feel that...
You bought them?
Yes, I did.
They were gifts, right?
Yes.
They were gifts to him, which means you relinquished control over them when you gave them those necklaces. So the truth is, Miss Lees, that those items properly belong to his son, even though you bought them. They were gifts. Okay. And you have them?
Yes. One. There was one gold necklace.
Okay. Oh, it says gold necklace. An autograph by Lou Garrett. Do you have that?
I've never heard of that before. There is a baseball stand. Are you talking about like the trophy?
It was
I
like
don't
a
know about
picture
Lou
when
Garrett.
he was like sick, and it was his last birthday, and he signed it.
When was the last time you saw it, Matthew?
Around last year when they were cleaning out the closet, because he asked me if I wanted it, and I said I didn't want it then because I might lose it.
Have you seen it?
No, ma'am.
Would you look for it, please?
Yes.
A purple and gold teapot?
Yes, it was like a purple teapot with like gold.
It's antique.
Yeah.
It was from his grandmother's. It was Harold's father's.
You have that?
Haven't found that either. There's a lot of things in the apartment I have not seen. I've still not went through everything.
Okay, well, I want you to go through it. That's what he wants. And that
If
should
I
go
find
back
it,
to
he
him.
can have it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He needed stuff to remember his father by, too.
Like a nails clippers with a bunny foot, like one of them lucky key chains. And I gave it to him when I was really, really little, and he's always kept it.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. 13-year-old Matthew Langford and his mother, Sherry Caudle Barlow, are suing the girlfriend of Matthew's late father, Donna Lease, for his father's possessions. Donna claims most of it was stolen.
Gold coins.
They were coins he had carried in a box. This is the box that she sent to us. Basically, this is what was in the box. Donna knows that. Donna did not tell me until the box was already sent into the house that it contained a bunch of magazines that my son should not see. I ran into the house to get the box and made Matthew leave the room. His father kept everything in that box, including a Christmas card he tore up from me. And he kept a postcard that Matthew sent him when he was 3 years old from Disney World. He kept everything in that box. There was nothing in that box that he normally kept in the box.
Listen to me. We're talking about nothing here. A gold necklace, an autograph, a teapot. Why are you here, Matthew? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
About August. I think it was in August, like 4 days when I started school. I came home from school, and she called our house saying that we broke into her apartment and stole my dad's things. That we could have been the only ones who could have done it.
Your house was burglarized?
Yes, it was. And
What
the
made
only
you-
things was taken was things that had belonged to Harold or thought had belonged to him.
Like what?
Birth certificate, the TV, stereo was left. There was $200 laying on the table that wasn't taken. The only thing that was taken was $20 from the wallet. From his wallet was gone. And then when I noticed the birth certificate was gone, the first thing I thought was, because Matthew had been upset with me at one time and asked for the TV and other items. And since these are the ones that was taken and nothing else from the apartment of value was taken, I assumed that it had something to do with them.
So what was taken from your apartment was the birth certificate, the television set, what cash was left,
Yes.
and other items were left of value. Well, Matthew, you can understand why somebody might think that it was somebody on this side of the table that would have done that if those were the things that were taken from the house. You could understand that.
I can understand how she felt that way.
Sure, I can understand
But
that.
I can't understand why a few days before that we had threatened that we would bring the police to get his father's belongings, why all of a sudden the house was broken into. We have neighbors that...
This is not true. You never
What?
said that,
Just
Sherry.
a second. Why would you threaten with the police to
Because
get this
she would not
stuff?
relinquish nothing.
What?
She wouldn't relinquish anything Matthew asked for. She said she needed those around her for a while.
Well, did you also, at the time you told her that you wanted to come and get the things, ask for the couch and the love seat?
No,
and the
we did
tables?
not.
You mean you just added those things to
I
the
did
list?
not add those things. I did not do those things. My son did those things.
When?
That list was made recently by him.
Okay.
No, at the time, he just wanted basically his father's personal belongings, of which she said she needed to have around her.
All right.
She did not take into consideration that this was a son, the only child he had, and he needed things too. He needed stuff to remember his father by too.
I got you. I understand.
I mean, it's not like we was trying to be cruel. We went to a funeral and supported her. We was there for her. I was there for her at the hospital. We have been close to Donna. We took in consideration her for 8 months. Why didn't she just get handed stuff over and then never would have came up missing?
This is a sad situation. You told me that you threatened to bring the police to the house before this happened. That's not a nice thing to do. Threatened to bring the police to get a whole bunch of stuff that really has absolutely no value, no dollar value, but sentimental value. And you have two people who want the sentimental things. He because it's his father, and she because it's somebody who she cared very much about, as you probably know, because if you were supportive, then you know that this was probably her life, the center of her life for at least 4 years, right?
It wasn't 4 years, but yes, they were very close. And we respected that.
Okay. And, you know, losing a parent is very difficult?
Yes, I do know that.
Difficult for both. So it seems to me that you didn't turn some of this stuff over right away. You probably should have some of it, just to keep peace and to keep the relationship nice, because that's what he would have wanted.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Call 1-888-800-JUDY. On the internet, judgejudy.com.
I don't see anything else here except a hunting knife. You know anything about a hunting knife?
That's the bone handle that was stolen during the break-in.
Where had it been?
Right on the bedside table beside my bed.
Is that where your dad kept it, Matthew? Where did he keep it?
In the living room underneath the couch.
And you moved it?
I was living alone.
So you moved it next to the bed?
Right next to the bed.
Okay. And that's it. Anything else you want to tell me?
Like a nails clippers with like a bunny foot, like one of them lucky key chains. That was something that he had, and I gave it to him when I was really, really little, and he's always kept it.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, he wanted to be buried with that. He wasn't buried with it, but he had made the statement when he went, it would go. I was under the impression I did send that back with him, honestly. I thought I did.
Will you take a look for it? You know?
I'll look. I will look. I've never had a problem with giving him the things. I really haven't.
Okay. So you see that those things that he wants that seem to have a sentimental value for him, he should have. And you'll go through the house and make sure within the next 5 days that he has them?
If I locate them, they're his.
Okay. This was a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't wash away all the years that you had that were good with both Donna and your father. And you had a good time there, right?
Yes.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, is that excused? You may step out.
What are you going to do?
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Yeah, this is case number 393 on the calendar, the matter Levens versus Radigan. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Levens, you rented a room in the defendant's home, and it is your claim that she falsely accused you at some point of assault, resulting in your arrest, to retain an attorney. All the charges were subsequently dismissed, and you want the defendant to pay for all of your out-of-pocket expenses as a result of that arrest, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it is the defendant's position that you did, in fact, assault her, and that your lawsuit is frivolous, correct?
Yes.
When did you begin your tenancy with the defendant?
December 1st of 1999.
And when did the altercation happen that resulted in your leaving?
February 17th of 2000.
So you lived there a very short time, 2 months.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were there any other tenants in the house?
Yes, as a matter of fact, during the month of December, she went through about 3 in the other room, and then there was one that had been there the whole time in the dining room, which had been converted into a bedroom.
So how many tenants in total? December, January, and February?
There were 3.
And what was your rent? Well, she lowered it a couple different times. Started off wanted $500, ended up $400, then she lowered it down to $350 because she wanted me to. She didn't want me to move out. I gave her notice, and she said it was hard to find good roommates, and she kind of desperate. It almost seemed.
I gather from the complaint that Ms. Radigan, you were putting new carpet in or having the carpets cleaned in the house. What day was that?
That was February the 17th.
Tell me what happened on the 17th of February.
I was about 7:30 a.m. I was sleeping. I worked nights, and I'd probably been asleep for a couple hours. She came, knocked on the door, said, we're going to have the rooms cleaned today. Could she come in and move stuff out from the middle of the room? And I said, okay. And she started to do that, and she said, you got to get up. And I said, well, my room really doesn't need it. I was kind of waking up, and I said, my room's fine. She said, no, we're doing the whole house. And I said, well, my room doesn't need it. And I was still kind of sleepy. And I said, well, do my room last. I said, it doesn't really need it. And she left. And then she came, a little time later, came barging in again and said, you're out of here. She said, that's it. You have to move out today. John and the boys are coming. They're moving you out. And all your stuff's going to be in the street. And, and she grabbed my chair and started moving my stuff out.
Moving what stuff out?
The chair was what she was moving out.
She was taking the chair out.
Like to demonstrate she was going to take everything out, and by that day, all my stuff would be in the street, and I'm out of there.
That's not true.
Just a minute, I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond. What happened next?
I grabbed my cell phone, I went out to the driveway, and I called the police.
At any time, did you put your hands on the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
When she picked up your chair, did you put your hand on her to stop her?
No, she just kind of plowed right on out the front, out my bedroom door, out into the living room.
So you went outside and you called the police?
Yes.
Do you have a police report?
Yes.
I'd like to see it, please. Now, the police ultimately arrived, is that right?
Yes.
When they arrived, what happened?
I told them that she was threatening to move my stuff out into the street, and that I was out of there today, and she's got some guys coming over, they're going to move me out, and I was afraid to leave, and that I'd paid rent, and I told them then, I said, I'm going to move at the end of the month, though.
So what happened?
Then they went inside and talked to her. A few minutes later, then they came out and asked me if I had touched her. I said, no. She said, well, she's claiming assault. I said, and they went back in, talked to the roommate. The roommate said he didn't see any.
Which roommate?
There's one that was right down the hall from me, straight across.
Don't tell me what the roommate said unless the roommate's here.
Okay. They said there was no assault, nothing happened. They said, leave. Told her to leave me alone, said, leave each other alone. He's leaving at the end of the month, and they left.
What happened next?
2 days later, I got at work, deputy sheriff came and had a restraining order, said I couldn't go home.
Now I'll hear you.
Okay, on February the 15th, I let Jimmy Lee know that I was going to be having the carpets cleaned. And he said, that's fine. And I told him, you'd have to have everything off the floor so that they can just come in and do the carpet. So the day after that, I reminded him that night before he went to work, they are coming, so, have your stuff up. And the next morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, the carpet people were going to be there at 8:30. I went in there, I knocked on his door, and I told him, the carpet people will be here in 30 minutes. And he just started cursing at me, telling me that he wasn't getting up and that his carpet is not going to get cleaned. So then what happened is I asked him, I said, the door is still shut. I asked him, is it okay, can I just come in and pick the stuff off the floor? He said, fine. So I went in, I got the chair, desk chair, rolled it out into the hallway right there, already out of his room. He came back in back of me. I didn't even know he got up. He came back in the back of me. He pulled me around by my arm. He took me, violently shook me, and threw me onto the chair. And he proceeded to go ahead and do whatever, hit me or whatever. And my other roommate, his room was right there, and I called out to him, and he came and had to remove him off of me.
Is that person here?
No, ma'am.
Then the police arrived, and you told the police your story. Is that right?
Yes, I called the police.
Well, so did he.
Mm-hmm.
The police arrived, and each of you were told to leave each other alone, and he advised police, who would turn advised you, that he would be moving out at the end of the month. Is that right?
No.
They didn't tell you that he would be moving out the end of the month?
No, he did
not. Did he
not.
tell you that he would be moving out the end of the month?
No, he didn't.
He didn't. But you certainly wanted him out of the house.
Exactly.
James Levin says ex-landlord Sherry Radigan owes for having him falsely arrested. James says after an argument, Sherry told police he assaulted her.
Several days later, you went back to the police. Is that right?
Right.
And you went to the police and said, I want to file assault charges against him.
Mm-hmm. I filed a report.
You said, I want to file, I've read the report.
Okay,
You said,
yeah.
I want to file assault charges against him. Is that right?
Yes.
And you told the police another version of what happened. You said that the first officer had taken an incomplete version.
Correct.
And you were very careful this time to go over all of the details precisely. Is that correct?
Yes, I was
to make
very
sure
distraught.
that to make sure that this officer got all of the facts straight.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And it was clear at that time, that several days later, that you wanted the plaintiff out of the house. Is that right?
Yes.
Did you make an attempt to go to housing court to have him evicted?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. You went to the police to get a restraining order to put him out of the house. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me tell you, Miss Radigan, the first officer that you spoke to reports no injury. Officer said that he spoke to a witness, this is in his police report, who did not see any physical interaction, but did hear arguing. You stated that the plaintiff grabbed her with both hands and pushed her out of the room.
No.
That, I'm telling you what the police officer stated in quotes that you told him. He grabbed you with both hands and pushed you out of his room. That's what you told.
Oh, I was very distraught at
Hey,
the
listen,
time.
Miss Radigan. Distraught. Then, after a few days, when you realize that nothing's going to happen, you go back to the police and insist on filing another report of assault, the same assault that allegedly happened on the 17th. And let me tell you what you told the officer at that time. You say, grabbed her by both arms and pushed me down on the floor. Now, that was the time when you went to the police and you wanted to make very, very sure that you got it 100% right. Then you filed this case today in which you swore in your deposition, he came up behind me, grabbed my arm, and turned me around and shook me really hard. Then, in the story that you tell me now, 2 seconds ago, you say, he came up from behind, he grabbed you, and he threw you down in a chair.
No, I said he shook me.
Yo, you just told me he shook you and he threw you down in a chair.
Exactly. I mean,
The question that I have to resolve, Miss Radigan, is whether you abused the process of the courts and the justice system in an attempt to see to it that he was evicted from your house very quickly, because you probably, if you rent rooms, know how hard it is to get out a tenant, since he had paid his February rent. Even if you try to get him evicted sometime in the middle of February, he's not going to get out for months if he doesn't want to go. You wanted him out. You insisted upon filing assault charges against him. You were not injured in any way, and you abused process. Now, let me see the certificate of disposition with this assault case. I know what you did, and you know what you did. How much did you actually pay this attorney, sir?
$5,000.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Everything he said was a lie, every bit of it.
Sherry uses the judicial system to get her way.
The only way I could get him out was to get a protective order.
Sherry is a very controlling person, and when she doesn't get her way, she throws a fit in the one way that she knows, into claiming that she was hurt.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Kittle versus Masala, step forward, please.
23-year-old student Kristen Kittle is suing her ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old military serviceman Gerald Vasala, for an unpaid loan to buy a car. Gerald says the money was a gift.
Miss Kittle, the defendant was a boyfriend of yours. You dated for a while, and then you were foolish enough to loan him some money so that he could purchase a car, according to you. Mr. Vasala acknowledges the fact that you gave him money for the car. Only Mr. Vasala says there was no loan. This was a gift that you made to him. Is that your defense, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
When did he purchase this car?
February 10th of 2001.
Were you still dating at the time?
Yes, we were.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding you turning money over to him.
We went to a used car sale.
Look at me.
We went to a used car sale at Qualcomm Stadium. He could only withdraw $350 at that time. According to him, his bank was located in Chicago. He couldn't go to the bank and withdraw the money. I told him I could go to my bank. I had Wells Fargo. I could withdraw the money and loan it to him, and he could pay me back the following day.
How much did you take out of your account and give him that day?
$1,800.
So far, did she give you $1,800,
Yes,
sir?
ma'am.
That's all we want to know. And you have proof of that with a bank withdrawal, I
Yes.
assume. Can I see it, please? What kind of a car did you purchase?
1987 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme.
And how much was the total purchase price?
I think $21.50 was the total.
So the next day comes, he didn't give you back the money.
No.
So I'll hear you.
Well, she did give me the money to purchase a car. Like I said, she gave it to me. It wasn't a loan. I'm freezing up right now.
Freezing? This is not a good time to freeze, sir.
I know that.
Let me see if I can make it easier for you.
Okay.
You're at this car sale.
Right.
You see a car that you like.
Right.
When you saw the one that you liked, did you have to negotiate the price with
Yes.
someone?
Yes.
Who did you negotiate the price
With
with?
a car salesman.
And what was the original purchase price?
I think it was, I'm not sure, somewhere in the lower threes. I'm not sure exactly.
And you dickered back and forth, and you finally came up with a price?
Right.
So now he says to you, okay. What's your first name?
Gerald.
Do they call you
Oh,
Gerald?
Jerry.
Okay, Jerry, we got a deal. $21.50. You got me down. You're a great negotiator, Jerry. $21.50. Where's your money?
At the bank.
At the bank.
Right.
Okay. So is that what you told the salesman?
Yeah, we got in
And
the
then you
car.
went to the bank
Yes.
with the plaintiff.
Right.
And what happened when you got to the bank?
I tried taking the money out of the ATM. I wasn't aware there was a limit, so I was only taking out $3 or $3.50.
Okay, so you get to the bank and you're really surprised, Jerry, that you
Right.
could only take out $3.50 because you had enough money to cover it, right?
Right.
Because you wouldn't have bought this car if you'd had, at that moment, if you didn't have enough
Correct.
money to cover it,
Yes.
right? So, gee, all I can take out is $3.50. What's your first name?
Kristen.
Kristen. All I can take out is $3.50. I love this car. So Kristen says, don't worry, I can give you the money. Right?
Right.
Because I have Wells Fargo. Jerry! Are you getting my point?
Yes, I get your point.
So Kristen, your girlfriend, says, don't worry, I can take out the other $1,800 and you'll give it back to me. Excuse me? You don't want to say anything, do you?
No, I haven't.
So she takes out the $1,800 and she gives it to you.
Yes.
When for the first time did Miss Kittle ask you for this money back?
After we had broken up.
And how much later was that?
A few months. I'm not sure exactly how long.
Really?
Right.
No. When did you ask him for the money back?
I asked him for the money back when we were together. He said he couldn't pay it all back. He had other debts. He needed to get another job, and he asked for some more time. And I said, you know what, we're together at the time.
Well,
I'll
let
give you-"
me ask you this question. You're not together now, are you?
Oh, no.
He said to you he didn't have all the money right then and there. However, old Jerry told you he wanted to go to the bank. Put your papers down, Jerry.
Okay.
He said, let's go to the bank so I can get out the money. So the next day or a couple of days later, when he said to you, well, I don't have all the money, common sense would suggest you say to him, Jerry, you had the money in the bank when you bought the car because you just said you couldn't get all the money out because they would only give you $350. So you had the money in the bank. Why won't you give it to me?
Well-
Wouldn't that be part of your conversation with him?
Well, actually, can I tell you what happened was that...
Yeah, I want you to actually tell me what happened.
Okay, actually, afterwards, he allegedly said that he got $1,000 stolen from him. He was staying at the military hospital at the time, and he was going home to Chicago. He owed his mom $500. He had other debts to pay, and he didn't have the money to pay me back at the time.
So he asked you if you would wait.
Yes.
And you said?
I said, that's fine. I still have a little bit of money in the bank. That's fine.
And then shortly thereafter, you broke up.
Yes.
And when you broke up, you filed a lawsuit against him.
Yes.
And then he tried to whittle his way back into your good graces.
So-so, yes.
But so you withdrew the lawsuit at that time.
He said he wanted to get a job to make some money. I tried to.
So you
This is
withdrew
my
the
last
lawsuit
resort.
at that time.
Yes.
Fine. Now, old Jerry, you made some payments on this car
Yes.
to her.
Only
When?
to try and stop it from coming to court.
When?
When? I don't know the exact dates. She probably has them.
Well, before or after you broke up with her the second time?
Before.
How much does he still owe you?
He owes me $1,600.
Jerry, it's not nice to try to fool Mother Nature, sir. You
I'm
understand
not
that?
trying to fool nobody.
Yes, you did.
All right, can I go back for a second here?
Can you go back for a second?
Yeah,
Where,
because
Jerry?
I had proof fair that I had the money to pay her back. And when I tried paying her, she was telling me, no, it's not necessary. I tried getting her routing and account number.
Yes, I understand that. Papers say that you tried to get her routing number so that you could wire the money into her account.
Right.
Right? And that you had trouble getting her routing number.
Right.
Right, no, I got that. I read that in the paper. So why did you just get a check? That check and mail it to her?
She told me not to worry about it. She told me you don't have to pay me back.
Never happened.
It did happen.
Never
It did happen. You weren't there. I was. It happened.
Listen, Jerry, what happened was you could only take out $350 from the bank.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted the car. She said, I can get the money for you. You're a couple. She got the money. She expected to be paid back. You fetched and cried like a baby, and you said, I got her the bills, money was stolen, I owe my mother $500, could I take a little time to pay you back? And she said, sure. So you took care of what you considered your other responsibilities, and then when you got around to it, you sent her $50 here and $50 there, and all of a sudden you made up in your mind that this was really a gift. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Case number 402 on the calendar in the matter of Hickey versus Deeks. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats.
Mr. and Mrs. Hickey, the defendant's son and your son were playing with BB guns. According to your complaint, the defendant's son shot your son in the mouth with a BB gun, causing his tooth to fall out. The dental bills for that amount to some $3,800, and you want the defendant and his father to be responsible for those bills. Which of the boys was shot in the mouth?
Jacob, the oldest one.
You. The defendant's position is that despite the fact that immediately after this incident he signed a note indicating he would be responsible for the bills, he signed that under some duress, and that he immediately recanted by sending you another letter indicating he would not pay for all the bills, and that as a matter of fact his son was also shot with a BB, albeit in his rear end. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When did this incident happen with the BB guns? And would you stand up here, sir? When did it happen?
November 19th of 2001.
Where did it happen?
In my backyard. It's on the side of the house is actually where he got shot.
Were you at home at the time?
No.
Whose BB guns were they?
We owned one, and Mike owned the other.
When did you buy your son a BB gun?
It was my mother's, and she gave it to my son for a present.
Why?
He just used it to, he had targets that he'd use to shoot and shoot signs, and it actually was my smallest son's gun, Eric's gun.
That's pretty stupid.
No, we have targets and we shoot all the time.
Well, so?
Plus we're hunters and stuff like that.
Sir, what is your first name?
Jacob.
Jacob, did you shoot the defendant with the BB gun and it hit him in the behind?
Yes, but it was by accident. I didn't mean
I don't
to
care
shoot.
whether it was by accident or on purpose. I assume that you wouldn't do anything on purpose to hit him with the
No.
gun. Is that right?
Yeah.
You were playing around.
Yeah.
And you shot him in the behind.
Yeah, by accident.
Was that before or after he shot you in the face?
Before.
Was it immediately before?
No, it was like about 5 or 10 minutes before.
So when you shot him in the behind, did he say anything to you?
No, he just like, he didn't mind. He like 5 or 10 minutes after, we were all pals.
You were all pals. So he was friendly to you after you shot him in the behind. And it was an accident.
Yes.
Now, I want you to tell me how it came about that you got shot in the face.
Well, me and Mike were just like, just hanging around, and I went to talk to my little brother.
Don't start from the beginning.
Okay.
We're not going back to Noah's Ark. Okay. You shot him in the behind by accident. Yes. Then you were playing around for another 10 minutes.
Yes.
Immediately before you got shot in the mouth, what were you doing?
Before I got shot in the chest, I was hiding behind this board, and I put down the BB gun.
What were you hiding behind the board for?
To hide from getting shot, because I couldn't run to my house. I was afraid of.
Well, was he aiming at you?
Yes.
Your Honor.
Shh.
Excuse me.
He was aiming at you?
Yes.
What did you say to him when he was aiming at you?
I yelled, stop, like at least maybe 5 or 10 times.
Did he say why he was aiming at you?
No.
Were you playing at this time?
No.
What were you doing? You were being serious?
Yes, he was being serious. I think he was trying to either get back at me for accidentally shooting him.
When you say you accidentally shot him and you hit his body,
yeah,
where were you aiming?
At the ground. It ricocheted off the ground and hit him.
That's not a target.
No.
Sir, I'm not speaking to you unless you were home, right? So you were shooting around his feet?
Yeah, it was like he was maybe a few inches from the ground to where I was pointing the gun at.
But he had turned around. His back was towards you, sir,
yes.
because If you hit him in the behind, that means that he was moving away from you.
Yes, I think he was looking at his gun. I think he was loading his gun with bullets.
Just a second. So he was loading his gun with bullets, and you shot.
Yeah, well, I was checking the safety, and I pulled the trigger, and the safety wasn't on the way in, and it ricochets off the ground and hits him.
All right. Now, Mr. Deeks, I want you to tell me how it came about, sir, that you hit him in the mouth with a BB.
Okay. That day, the bus missed us right off the bat, so we stayed at his house, and we were, like, playing video games. We ordered a pizza, and so then about half an hour later, after we watched a movie, we went out in his backyard and started shooting at trees and stuff with his BB gun. And then he said, let's go down and get my BB gun. So we walked down to my house, and on the way down to my house, that's when he shot me, when we were walking and I was walking in front of him. So it hurt, and so I just got up and we kept walking to my house, and we got my pellets because we were like shooting at birds and stuff. So then we walked back to his house, and he said, let's play one pump war, which is you pump the gun one time and you shoot at each other. And we were at least 100 feet away from each other, like a big field. And
Just a minute, does one pump war sound familiar to you, sir?
No, I never said that.
Go ahead.
And then he started shooting at me, and Eric was with me by the road, and pellets were like flying by our heads and everything, and Eric said, let me shoot the gun. So I said,
That's
okay.
a lie.
And I let Eric use the gun, and Eric shot the gun and shot Jake. Like the second shot he shot, it hit Jake. And I tried to cover for his brother and say that I was the one that shot it, and he repeated, no, that was my brother, and you didn't shoot it. So, and then he was yelling at his brother. So then he immediately after that started shooting back at us and almost hit Eric. So I told Eric, go away before you get hit. So then he was hiding behind boards with one of my friends, Robbie, and I couldn't see anything, so I just took a shot, and all of a sudden I walk up there and he's out in the middle of the yard, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, you shot me in my face. And I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And then he said I did it on purpose, and there's no way I could shoot it with a $30 BB gun 100 feet away.
And for him to shoot me in my tooth, he would have to directly aim at my face.
Your Honor, Eric can tell you, because he was there through the whole thing, he can tell you what happened, too.
Mm-hmm. He shot my little brother, too, in the head.
And so you shot him?
No,
You shot your own brother.
Neither of you were there. You shot him. The first person who got hit with a BB was him. Put your hand down. Listen, when parents permit their children to have instruments that can cause damage to each other, they make a big mistake, and then they come and they cry. Somebody, first of all, should have been home in your house to ensure the fact that if your son missed the school bus, somebody drove him to school so that he wasn't home all day being unsupervised. Did your younger son miss the school bus too?
No.
Did not. So he went to school that day.
That's right.
So that they were playing around all day with these BB guns until Eric came home. Is that right?
That's right.
And then Eric was out in the field with them as well. Is that right, Eric? Stand up here. Is that right, young man? You were out there too?
Yes.
Did you ever have a BB gun in your hand?
No.
You never held a BB gun?
Nope.
Just your brother and his friend?
Yep.
Now, I want you to point someplace in this room. Let's say your brother was standing where I'm sitting at the time that he got hit in the face. I want you to point someplace in the room and show me where this young man was standing when he shot him in the face. Look around the room, and if you tell me that there's no place in the room, that's fine too. Look all around the room.
Where was he standing, Eric? Where was Mike standing when he shot Jacob? How far?
Nowhere.
What?
Nowhere in this room.
Nowhere in this room, so it was further. Was it twice as far? 3 times as far?
3 times.
3 times as far as anywhere in this room. Is that right?
Yep.
Sit down, Eric.
15-year-old Jacob Hickey says neighbor 13-year-old Mike Deeks shot him in the mouth with a BB gun. Mike says Jacob shot him in the behind.
So you believe, Mr. and Mrs. Hickey, that the defendant should be totally responsible for any injuries caused to your son?
Yes.
Wrong. Wrong. You are suggesting that Mr. Deeks purposely, from 3 times the distance of this courtroom, aimed and shot at your son successfully, getting him in the tooth.
I don't know if Eric understood that question.
It wasn't that far.
Just a second. You weren't there, and that's what he said.
Well, I know where he said he was.
Just a second. You weren't there, and that's what he said.
He's on probation for violence in the first place, so he is susceptible to
That
this
has
stuff.
nothing to do with this case.
Your Honor, I'm
In
off
fact,
probation.
he used that to bribe me into signing the note in the first place, and
All
I
right,
would
now,
pay the bill.
let's get to the note.
You begged us not to
Immediate-
call
hey,
the cops.
Mr. Hickey,
Right.
Mr. Hickey,
Okay, ma'am.
listen to me, sir. But for the fact that your son had a BB gun that day, you wouldn't be here today.
Sure.
Now, there came a time, according to what I've read in these papers, that the defendant, Mr. Deeks, signed a note. Can I see the note, please?
Sure.
Now, I'd like you to tell me the circumstances of this note. When was it written?
It was written that evening that it happened.
Did you go to his house, or did he come to your
Brian
house?
did. Brian went to his house.
You went to his house?
Yes.
What did you say to him when you went to his house?
He was asking me not to call the cops because his son was on probation for breaking and entering in the house
Yes.
in my neighborhood.
Yes.
And
Just talk to me.
right. So I said, I don't have a problem with not calling the cops, but I said, I need the medical bills to be paid for. I said, we're not, we don't have a ton of money to pay for this stuff. And he agreed.
Okay. And give me your version of what Mr. Hickey said to you when he came over.
Basically,
No, not basically. What did he say to you, Mr.
okay,
Deeks?
he said that Michael had instigated the shooting, that Michael had shot his son. So I signed
did
the
he say?
note. Of course, I was scared for my son. I was
No.
scared for his son.
What did he say to you, sir, with regard to calling the police?
He said.
Now, what did he say
said
to
if
you?
I would agree to pay all the medical bills and to pay pain and suffering for his son, then he would not call the police.
All right. And then there came a time where you had second thoughts. You had an opportunity to speak to your son.
Yes, ma'am.
You say that you wrote him a letter.
Yes, I have that here.
Can I see the letter that you wrote to him? I want to see when you wrote the letter to him. Mr. Hickey, once you received this letter, you were advised that the defendant did not intend to pay for the entire dental bill for your son, but thought it was only reasonable that he should pay for half. Did you go to the police?
That night I called the police.
And I had the report.
Because also one thing, I always taught my boys to keep their guns down because that's proper gun safety when you're not firing your gun to keep it pointed away and down. And also, Mike was the one that instigated the shooting on my son. My son did not shoot back at him. Okay, as far as
You weren't there, and you don't know. Just understand this, Mr. Hickey. Despite the fact that you've given your son all kinds of lessons on gun safety, the first person that was hit was the defendant.
Right.
Just a second, by your son. Now, I understand from this letter, Mr. Deeks, that you took some photographs
Yes, ma'am.
of the injury to your son behind. I'd like to see them.
He doesn't want you to, but...
Well, that's too. That comes under the category of being too bad.
Jacob's tooth was a lot worse than a butt.
Scab.
That was through blue jeans and boxer shorts.
Getting a tooth shot out is a lot worse than getting shot in the butt.
So?
And a lot worse damage.
So? They're two stupid kids. He started it, and he finished it better. I think both of them were probably accidents.
Jake, his was not an accident.
Well, you may say it's not.
Also-
Yeah, can I see the dental bills, please? You folks just don't get it.
Do you want the police report?
I don't care about the police report. The police did not arrest him for that. You know why the police didn't arrest him for that? You want to know why? Because your son shot him first. That's why.
Miss Judy, also, he shot my son 4 times, shot my little son 3 times,
tell you that.
and shot my dog 2 or 3 times also.
Purposely.
Purposely.
Did you take the BB gun away from your son?
That was the same day.
Yes, and plus I got his BB gun and destroyed it the same day.
And they
as
both
happened
have
to.
this gun still
Your Honor,
in their possession.
his little son and a kid named Sean were walking down the street with my BB gun like a month later, and with holding a pigeon in their hand. And I talked to Josh, his littlest son, and Josh
Don't tell me
said-
what Josh told you. I think that you're both way out of line, and I think that, listen to me, I think that the defendant is being more than reasonable with you when he says to you, I believe that I should be responsible for half of the dental bills and that you should be responsible for half of the dental bills for your son. And if you don't think so, then I'm not going to spend any more of my very valuable time trying to convince you. Now, these 2 boys were engaged in play. There is no indication that the defendant was a marksman, any more than your son being a marksman. You 3 parents,
What about him
both
shooting
very
my other
fool.
kids?
I'm not interested in him shooting your other kids. All I know is I have photographs that the first person who was injured as a result of this BB play was him.
It shows he intentionally shot my other kids.
No, it doesn't.
And they were not armed. So,
You
okay?
know, get over it.
We know where his heart...
Get over it. Get over it. You're being thick. You allowed your children to have weapons that could cause injury, both of you. Therefore, you are both responsible, especially since, put your hand down and get your hand out of your pocket. Especially since your son, whether by accident or on purpose, and it certainly wasn't by accident because he aimed at the ground as the defendant was walking away. He didn't aim in the air. He aimed, according to his own statement, at the ground at his feet, and it ricocheted. Now, that's his statement. That's not teaching him how to handle a gun. You handle a gun, you want to shoot at targets. According to you, they only shoot at targets. That's not a target. The back of his feet isn't a target.
Your Honor,
Don't speak. You acted stupid. He was stupid. You were all stupid for not making sure that your sons were in school that day. What?
Well, first off, with my youngest boy, I mean, they catch the bus at 7. He catches at 6:30. I was still home. So apparently, we're not stupid or neglected as far as parents because they must have snuck off in the woods on their own before we even left.
You're supposed to know where your children are. Then if they both snuck off, they were doing the wrong thing. Both of them. And the first one to get a gun was your son. Because then they walked back to his house to get his. Right?
Yes.
So now let me see the dental bills.
He did pay me $59 already.
It's $160.
No, you gave me $59 cash.
I gave you $60 and a $100 check.
Yeah, that was for pain and suffering for Jacob.
Don't give me pain and suffering.
Well, that's what he did.
Well, I don't know whether he gave you money for pain and suffering. I'm not giving any
He
money
did that
for
on
pain and
his
suffering. $159 he gave you so far towards the dental bills.
Your Honor.
Okay.
Don't speak.
59.
Your father's going to get fed up with taking care of your nasty business, sir. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, young Mr. Deeks, you think your father had to spend any money the first time you got into trouble?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you feel badly?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were on probation?
Yes, when this incident happened.
You were on probation?
Yes.
Part of your probation that you're supposed to be in school every day?
No, ma'am.
No? Oh. You don't think that the judge, while you were on probation, had the probation officer look into whether or not you were in school doing the right thing? Of course. And you weren't in school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the first time you were in trouble?
No, ma'am.
How old are you?
13.
That's the first time he's ever in trouble with the law or anything like that, if that's what you're asking.
Should have taken away his BB gun at that time, Mr. Deeks. That would have been the first thing that I would have done.
I agree there.
Taken away that, his Nintendo, his video games, his television privileges.
That's why
everything
I gave the
except
gun
bread
to
and
Mr.
water.
Hickey.
Now, this estimate was December 27th, 2001. The total bill was $1,865. Was that surgery performed?
Not yet. No, he's got to wait till he's full grown, so they will not perform the surgery until he stops growing.
And was the tooth totally knocked out?
I have a picture if you want to. If you like
I
to
do.
see it.
Okay. Now, after the money he paid you, the total amount of the bills as projected by the dentist, $3,690.
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe that he is responsible for half of that, which is $1,845. And that's what I'm giving you as a judgment. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,845. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step. Case number 456 on the calendar, the matter Williams versus Kelly. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated.
According to your complaint, Mr. Williams, you and the defendant were co-workers. She borrowed some money from you. And this was in October of 2000. Is that right?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And she signed a promissory note, and she did not pay you back. Easy?
That is also correct.
The defendant says that because of your actions, she was fired from her job. Because of things that you said about her, she was unable to get another job, and therefore she doesn't feel as if she has to pay you back the money, and she is counterclaiming for defamation. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
The dates become very interesting here. The loan was made what date in October, sir?
October 20th, 2000.
And what did you need the money for?
I needed the money to pay a mortgage payment.
And what was the principal amount on the loan?
$1,500.
Do you have the promissory note?
Yes, I do.
May I see it, please? And you did sign this promissory note. You
Yes,
signed
I
it
did.
on the 20th of October.
Yes.
Did you make the first payment on October the 30th, as it was agreed to in this note?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I was fired. I was sexually assaulted by Mr. Williams, who pressed his private parts on my behind.
When?
This was a month before I had gotten fired, and Mr. Williams believed
What date?
that...
No, just a second. I'm asking you the date. You indicate that you were, according to you, sexually harassed by Mr. Williams.
September 2000.
Well, that's why the dates become important. So that if you were sexually harassed by Mr. Williams in September of 2000, how could you borrow money from him a month later and promise to pay him, start to pay him within 10 days?
I loaned Mr. Williams $3,000 around March of 2000.
Yes.
I did not ask Mr. Williams to sign any promissory note. I just simply gave Mr. Williams the money. I had to hound him for 6 months to give me my money back. But when I needed money, Mr. Williams asked me to sign a promissory note. So, and I felt hurt. I felt hurt because originally I thought we were friends, but I found out differently. Anyway, what I was saying, I was in a very bad bind, and I needed money. And I borrowed it from Mr. Williams because I loaned him money, so I felt like he should give me money.
Well, when you signed this promissory note, Miss Kelly,
yes,
did you have intentions of paying him
Yes,
back?
I had intentions. Oh, I'm sorry.
The answer was yes.
Yes.
So that what happened between October 20th, when you signed this note, and October the 30th?
As I said, Mr. Williams had wind of me gathering evidence against him for sexually harassing me and other harassments ever since he got
What happened between
he got me
in
fired.
That 10 days?
He lied.
On what
He lied
date,
to his superiors and got me fired.
On what date were you fired?
I was fired October the 30th.
Miss Kelly, the reason I asked questions about the dates was because it seems odd that you would borrow money from someone who you claim a month before had sexually abused you. Would seem to me you would want to stay as far away from that person as possible.
I could not. We worked in the same small cubicles, in the same location.
Then you certainly don't want to have anything other than a business relationship while you were, quote, gathering evidence against him.
To me, that was still business, Your Honor, because I really was in need of taking care of my personal business.
Then you have to pay him back. Period. End of discussion.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Why do you think
But
that you
as
are
I
entitled
said,
not to pay him back?
I lost many of wages after I lost that job. Mr. Williams lied to his superiors and said I took someone else's check because he knew I was about to let his superiors know of his assault on me. I have documents that I went to Equal Opportunity and I made accusations, and I was given a claim. I was given a settlement from the organization that I worked with, showing that he sexually assaulted me. Mr. Williams was the supervisor after I left there.
I'm speaking. Don't interrupt me. It still doesn't forgive you from paying back a loan.
I didn't have a job. I had no job.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. You have to pay him back this money. And if you got a settlement, then you have to pay him back the money from the settlement. Period. End of discussion. You signed a note.
No, but excuse me.
I'm telling you yes.
Something?
I'm reading your complaint.
I have a letter from a lady that worked there.
Listen, I don't read letters. Miss Kelly,
I want to see Equal Opportunity stating his assault on me.
Did you hear what I said? I don't read letters. I want to see the result. This is the complaint that you just gave me, that you filed. I want to see the order that they handed down. Do you have a copy of the order that they handed?
No, I have a copy of the check that they settled with me for.
They settled with you for it.
And that was a whole year later when my bills were...
Just a second. You mean you don't have a copy of the decision? There was never a decision?
I was released from unemployment.
Would you answer my questions?
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
You had to sign certain documents, Miss Kelly.
Yes, I did.
When you received this check. Let me see a copy of the documents you received.
I don't have a document with me, Your Honor.
All right.
of that.
Just 1 second.
I have a letter I presented to them during that time.
I'm not interested in your letter. I'm interested in their decision.
They had me sign a document releasing me from prosecuting any further.
That's correct. That's what they did.
Yes.
Of course. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring that letter with me, Your
Well,
Honor.
you should have, because you have a counterclaim against them for defamation. The first thing you say here is that you have a condition of torn cartilage, which may be considered a disability under the New York State human rights laws, and I am a female. Then you say on October 24th, which is 4 days after you borrowed this money, you submitted your request for sick leave related to your torn cartilage, right? Then you go on to say that the reason you were terminated was because of your disability and my sex, having complained of sexual harassment. Why these people settle these claims? It's absolutely ridiculous. You also say here that by mistake I took somebody else's pay and you returned it. It was a mistake, you say, that you took it.
And it wasn't a pay, it was a stub.
A stub, whatever it was. You signed a release, you don't get any money on your counterclaim. You have to pay them the money that you borrowed. You borrowed $1,500. There's also late fees imposed pursuant to this thing.
Wait a minute.
$25.
May I say something, Judge? I know I'm nervous, but may I state something, please?
You're not nervous, Miss Kelly.
Yes, I am, Judge.
No, you're not nervous.
There
You're just
was
trying to
a
get...
statement. I am not lying, Judge. Mr. Williams is a supervisor at the company I was working at. I have been seeking employment. I have an impressive resume that I've gone for several interviews for over the last year, and they have to ask him for references, character references. I have not been able to get a job since I left that employ because they have to get references from Mr. Williams, who sabotaged me since then.
Miss Kelly, I can make a similar argument that the reason that you cannot get employment anywhere else is because you filed a claim based on the fact that you suffer from a disability, which I'm speaking, don't interrupt me. I'm really very smart. You say you were fired because you have torn cartilage, which you believe falls within the purview of the Americans Disability Act, and therefore you were fired. I'm speaking. That's exactly what you say here.
Melvin Williams says former co-worker Jackie Kelly owes for an unpaid loan to pay her mortgage. Jackie claims Melvin sexually assaulted her and then got her fired. She says she's not going to pay.
It's exactly what you said here.
Judge,
you said.
Can I say something?
You say. I'm speaking. I believe the real reason for my termination of my. I'm speaking. I can't hear you. For terminating my employment is because of my disability and my sex, and having complained of sexual harassment. Those are your words.
I was the only woman at the job. My knee went out that month.
Listen to me, madam.
I was going on disability for that month.
Miss Kelly,
before that month, I was not injured, Your Honor.
Listen, I'm going to let you speak in a minute,
sir. I was not injured. There was nothing wrong with me.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. You're not listening to me. If I am an employer and I find out that someone has sued a prior company in part because they say they suffer from a disability that they categorize as I am, which is what you say, have a condition, torn cartilage, which may be considered a disability under the New York State human rights law. That's the first.
I have a letter here from the doctor. I went for surgery on the 17th of November of 2000. I did not have a disability until then. That's when I was requesting a disability. I did not have the disability yet. I was going for surgery for that, and that's when I went out. But after I was already fired before that even took place. I stated that to the equal opportunity.
Miss Kelly.
There's a letter stating that there was a lady that was a witness to the fact that Mr. Williams sexually harassed me.
Pay careful attention. I have zero sympathy for you because you borrowed money from him after
he borrowed $3,000 before that.
After you say he sexually harassed you. I have zero sympathy for that. If you say he sexually harassed you and you were compiling evidence against him, we go forward again.
I was compiling evidence.
Who do you think you're joking with? You're
I
joking
was
with me.
compiling
You're joking with me. Then
evidence.
you don't borrow money from him and sign a promissory note that you have no intention of paying back. Judgment for the
had
plaintiff in the amount of
intentions of paying it back.
$1,525 pursuant to your complaint, sir. Do you understand?
Yes,
that
I do, Your
You're
Honor.
getting back your money. Your counterclaim is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's lied and defamed my character over the last year, and I really think it stinks.
The main reason she got fired because she opened up somebody's paycheck and she wanted to lie about it. And then she wanted me to cover for her.
Mr. Evans, according to your complaint, the defendant was a friend of yours, and there had been times, because she didn't have a checking account, that you cashed checks for her.
Yes, ma'am.
On this particular instance, she came to you and told you she had a money order and asked you to cash it for her. You did.
Yes.
And several days later, you were notified by your bank that the money had been withdrawn from your account because the money order had either been stolen, reported stolen, or a stop order had been put on the money order. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you want the money back?
Yes, I do.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding her request.
She called me up on my cell phone and said that the father of her children had come into town out of the blue. He hadn't been paying child support ever, and he gave her a money order for $1,000 and wanted to know if I had cash. I've cashed plenty of checks for her, and I didn't think nothing of it. And when I showed up, she said, well, it's for $1,000, but it's a money order. It's guaranteed funds. You got nothing to worry about. Because up till then, I didn't cash nothing for that amount of money. So I thought about it and said, hey, you know, it's a money order, guaranteed funds. It's not like it's a checking account. So I cashed the money order for her.
How did you do that?
We went to the bank. She signed the money order that was written to her. She endorsed it. I signed it and cashed it and handed her the money. And in the bank was the last time I ever saw my $1,000.
Did she ever tell you about this father of her children before you cashed the money order?
I don't know anything about him.
Just that you knew she had children?
She had children, so obviously they probably have a father, yes.
Okay. All right, Miss Tracy, let me hear from you.
Pretty much everything that he said, it happened. To me, the money order was a legit check. That's the only reason why I asked Tony to do it, because like he said, he has cashed checks for me prior, because I don't have a bank account. When we cashed this check, I went back and gave the money to Dolan. After that, Tony got a hold of us a couple of days after that saying the bank, you know, he was out of $1,000, we need to get down to it. So we addressed Dolan, both me and him both did at that time, and Dolan got on the phone and was trying to call somebody in Missouri, a friend of his that supposedly put the stop payment on it. To me, I was an innocent bystander, and I understand Tony wants to get his money back, and I try to get him and Dolan to deal with it themselves and keep me out of it, because it basically, he wrote the check out to me, and I don't feel like I'm totally blamed for the $1,000.
Even though she got the $1,000?
Even though I got the $1,000, which I gave to Dolan, and in return he gave me $300 for child support. And I haven't received child support from him in like 12 years.
So you feel as if Dolan is responsible?
Yes,
for
I
the money.
definitely do.
That's your defense?
Yeah.
That you're an innocent bystander?
Yes.
All right. I have some questions for you, Ms. Tracy. Were you ever married to Dolan?
No, I was not.
But you were in, I assume, a long-term relationship with him?
For on and off for 5 years.
And after he cashed this money order, did Dolan stay with you for a while?
Yes, he did stay with me for
How
about
long?
a week. And
Just
then,
a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, tell me what you know about Dolan. Does Dolan work?
He's always worked. When I was with him,
Has he ever been incarcerated?
Yes, he has.
How many times?
He's incarcerated right now, and I do believe this is his second time being incarcerated.
What do you mean you do believe? While you were together for that 5 years, had he been in jail before?
No, he was not together in those 5 years, and that's like 12 years ago, so.
Okay, but you believe that he's been incarcerated on at least 2 occasions?
Yes, yes.
Do you know what for?
Drug charges.
Using, selling, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. So
Little.
Manufacturing.
Okay. So
Yeah.
a little bit of, he's a
Everything.
bit of an
He's a
entrepreneur,
bad
he's a
seed.
businessman, he's a salesman, and he also uses his own product.
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go. That'll work.
Was he ever abusive towards you?
Yes, he was.
Was he ever physically abusive
Yes, he
towards
was.
you? Prior to him cashing this check for you, not a long time ago, just recently, did you know about Dolan's drug involvement?
No, I didn't. I didn't hear or see from him for about 8 years, so showing up on my doorstep, it bewildered me because I haven't seen him in so long.
Oh,
So
but you did know one thing. You knew that he had been working.
Yes.
And that he hadn't paid child support. Is that right?
Yes.
So you knew he was a deadbeat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And had he seen his children in those years?
Nope.
So you knew he was irresponsible?
Very much.
So, Miss Tracy, let me ask you this question. If you went to Mr. Evans, who was a friend of yours, and said, look, I have this money order. It was given to me by the father of my children, who is a lowlife, irresponsible, deadbeat, abuser, and we'd like you to cash it for us. Do you think he would have cashed it for you? Probably not. So you had information about the person who you were asking him to vouch for by giving him money that he didn't have. Mr. Evans, if she had said to you, here is a money order by this lowlife, drug-abusing, drug-selling, drug manufacturing, irresponsible, deadbeat person who I once knew 8 years ago, but I haven't seen since, would you have cashed her money order?
No, I wouldn't.
Of course not. So you go after Dolan.
That was my point.
Absolutely. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Kimberly Grace says her niece, Vivica Lewis, had her falsely arrested for stalking. Vivica says after she caught her aunt cheating with another man, Kimberly threatened to kill her.
Can I see the piece of paper that you have, please?
Your Honor, I would like to point out that I made a complaint against them on the 24th of March, and how convenient her stalking was to mine, because they did follow me to my home, because I got my friend to take me home. They drove up behind me, and they pulled in the driveway. But as we were traveling to my home, they were honking the horn, flashing their lights, and they were on our bumper. So when I got to my home, they came up and pulled behind me. They pulled out, and they was at my driveway, and she yelled out she was gonna beat my A, and that I got you now, B. And then she was saying something else to my friend, and I walked in my house to get my dad. And by the time I got him out the house, they were gone. And my police report was filed on the 24th, and I called the police at 9:33 in the morning. So it was no way in the world that I could call her. I have the police report.
Ms. Gray, I want you to pay careful attention to
Yes, ma'am.
On the 26th of May, according to these papers, you entered a plea of nolo contendere, which means you pled no contest to the charges.
Ma'am.
And you were ordered by the court to pay costs.
Yes, ma'am.
As a result of your plea of no contest, and the protective order that was issued in favor of the defendant. And I am certain that your lawyer explained to you that a plea of nolo contendere, no contest, is the same as a plea of guilty.
Ma'am.
Did your lawyer explain that to you?
No, ma'am, we
well,
never
he should
discussed.
have.
We never discussed pleading guilty or not guilty. Because I told him at the trial, I was like, I'm not pleading guilty for something that I didn't do. He said, ma'am, you're not pleading guilty because you're coming into agreement that you're not going to mess with the defendant anymore. I was like, sir, I did not do this. And they should have it on court record that I said it to him because I said it out loud in court.
All I can tell you is what I read in the certificate of disposition of the case. And your case is what we call adjourned in contemplation of dismissal, which means it's not dismissed yet. But if you, as I said, stay away from her, then the case will be dismissed and the order of protection lifted. So you have no civil claim against her, Ms. Gray.
Ma'am,
you have no civil case against her.
I did not know.
As long as you pled what is equivalent to a guilty plea, which is a plea of no contest.
Okay.
You should have gone to trial, maybe, and pled not guilty and continued to go to trial. Maybe a case would have been dismissed. If it was dismissed, then you might have a civil suit against her, but you didn't. You pled no contest. Is this your husband?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is a friend that I was with on the time that she said that I was stalking her, and and he was there.
Are you separated from your husband now?
Yes, ma'am.
Where's your child?
He's with me. I got full custody of my son.
That's not true either.
Yes, ma'am.
They haven't even filed for separation papers. He kicked her out because she doesn't want to clean, cook, or nothing. And she took the baby with her.
That's not usually a reason.
No, because
I'd be out on the streets.
She takes all the money out the bank. He had a down payment, you know, and that's why they just just back and forth.
Where's the child?
With me.
With her, living with her, but they haven't been to court for custody or anything.
Okay. Does your husband see the child?
No, ma'am. He comes like once in a blue moon, so he does not come see him. He does not pay anything for him.
That's a lie. He has an order to pay her $200 a month for the child.
I didn't even get this. I'm sorry. This is
what you
I
are.
haven't got
That's
it.
what you have
Just
said.
a
She's
second
had
while I pay
contact
that.
with me. I'm just going off what she said to me.
Then they have to have been to court.
I don't
Listen
know
to me.
or not.
Well, I'm telling you, if he has a child support order
Okay.
of $200 a month, which is what you're telling me, then they have to have been to court, and your brother has an order to pay support, and I assume visitation, which he certainly should avail himself
yes,
of.
ma'am, he did.
Good. Stay away from her.
I haven't been near her.
Perfect.
Thanks.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 352 on the calendar in the matter of Gray versus Lewis. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
All right, this is like a little soap opera here. I really think I'm going to start with you, Miss Lewis, and get some background information. The lawsuit involves your claim, Miss Gray, that the defendant, who is your husband's niece, had you falsely arrested for stalking. You want to be compensated for that false arrest and for all the money that you spent, lawyer's fees, time, and emotional distress. From what I gather, and I'm trying to piece together the information that you put in your complaint, you saw the plaintiff getting into another man's car. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you see this?
In a county near my grandmother's house at a gas station.
Tell me what you either saw or thought you saw.
Okay, we were the last ones at the gas station, and it's like a rural gas station in a little county, and we were pumping gas. The lights were out because we were the last ones there. They were closing up. We saw the defendant coming.
No, plaintiff. She's the plaintiff today.
I'm sorry. The plaintiff riding in her car, and she didn't see us at first. We were just standing there pumping gas, and when she saw us, she like backed out, and when she was about to leave the parking lot, a car rolled up with a male in it, and they exchanged a few words, and they left together following each other. So we were en route to our house.
Who were you traveling with?
My mother, my sister, and my little brother. And we saw her pass in the other direction. She was in the passenger side of the guy's car. So my mom got upset, and she turned the car around and went back to my grandmother's house where my uncle was.
Your uncle, who was her husband?
Yes, ma'am. And my mom...
Were they living together at the time? Everything was happy?
No.
So they were separated?
No, not legally. She comes and goes when she wants to.
But they were not living together full-time as man and wife?
No.
Okay. So you and your mom go back to your grandmother's house where your uncle is.
Yes.
Her husband.
Yes.
Estranged husband. And you tell him what you saw.
Well, my mother got out the car and told what she saw.
And then what happened?
He came out because he had the baby because she said she was too ill to watch the baby and take care of the baby. And he left the baby with my grandmother, got in his car, and sped down the road.
And then what happened?
And he called us later that night and told us what had happened when he saw her getting out of the guy's car. And
what happened when he saw you?
First, he accused me of cheating. He shoved me going towards the friend that I was with. Then he approached him and started calling me all sorts of names, and he was about to fight him. So I had to stand in front of him so he wouldn't hit my friend.
When were you arrested?
They sent me in a mail a paper saying if I do not turn myself in, that they will arrest me, come and arrest me at my home.
What do you claim she did to you that caused you to file the police report?
Okay, after she had a confrontation with my uncle called me and told me what happened. The next morning, Miss Gray called me at my home. I didn't tell my uncle anything my mom told her. I didn't even speak to my uncle when he called that night. So she called me the next day. We had been friends. I was the only one in my family willing to accept her and her child into my family. Everyone else didn't want to accept her. So I wasn't mad that she was cheating on my uncle because I really don't get in their business. She called me, she threatened me, she said that she was going to kill me, my daughter, and the rest of my family because we're a bunch of bees and everything. And I was like, Joy, you're crazy. Stop calling my house. I hung up with her. She called back and proceeded to curse me out. And I'm like, you know what? You're making threats, and I'm tired of you making threats. So I was like, you better be careful what you say. And she was like, I'm going to kill you, and she hung up the phone. I called my uncle right then immediately because she has a medical condition that affects her hormones, and they said that it affects her mind sometimes when she doesn't take her medicine. So I called my uncle to make him aware of what his wife was doing, and he said, don't worry about her. I'll take care of her because she needs her medicine. And I'm like, okay. I didn't pay her any mind. So the next morning, after she made the phone call, I come out my door into my parking lot, and I put my daughter in my car. She's across the parking lot in her car, waiting in her car, looking at me. And I knew it was her because she has personalized license plates. So I just got in my car, and I proceeded out my parking lot. She followed me 10 miles up the road to my mom's house, and she proceeded down the road as I turned into my mom's driveway. And I went in the house and told my mom about the situation, and she said, don't worry about it, just go to work. Later that night, I hear a loud bang on my door. I live by myself with my daughter. And I get up, my daughter's crying because she woke up because of the noise. And I get up, look out my window, and I don't see anything. I open my door, and then I see her across the parking lot with her lights on, and then she speeds out the parking lot. So that night, in fear of not knowing what she's going to do because she has to take medicine because she has a chemical imbalance with her hormones and everything. And so I left and went down to the magistrate office and filed a police report. And I said, and when I originally went there, I just wanted a protective order. I didn't want her anywhere around me. He said, in order to get a protective order, I must file charges. So he filed charges for stalking.
Do you have the police report?
No, I don't have the police report, but I have when we went to court and what happened at court and everything.
Okay. Well, just hold on to that for a second. So you were notified in the mail that you had to turn yourself in?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you given a trial date?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the trial date? You were arraigned first?
Yes, ma'am, on the 25th.
Okay, but you were allowed to go home?
Yes, ma'am.
So on the 25th of April, you were arraigned. Did you make another appearance in court after the 25th? When?
It was later on that May 26th, I believe.
Was that your last court appearance?
Yes, ma'am.
So on May 26th, the case was resolved?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a lawyer?
Yeah, a court-appointed lawyer.
They're still lawyers?
Yes, ma'am.
So you had a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
And you discussed the case with the lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what happened in court, Miss Gray?
Yes, ma'am. He came up and...
Who's he?
My lawyer and the district attorney. They went up and they said that both parties have agreed not to come in contact with one another. And then I didn't have to come to any court dates. I called and they said the case was dismissed. Well, it will be dismissed on June 3rd.
So the case is not dismissed yet?
That's
as
right.
long as we stay away from each other.
No,
yes, ma'am.
that's not what it says. It went fairly, and she's crazy. She needs some treatment.
I don't understand how would she lie and say all these things and they weren't true.
We don't really want to have anything to do. She's trying to force herself upon us.
I have had problems with them ever since I got with my husband.
We don't want to have anything to do with her because she lies so bad.
She had no right to follow me. I wasn't with my husband. He had a girlfriend.
She's a liar. I just hate the fact that she lies.
Don't get mixed up with crazy families.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Williams versus Stewart. Step forward, please.
46-year-old homemaker Pamela Williams is suing her former friend, 28-year-old hairstylist Shay Stewart, for an unpaid car loan and utility bills. Shay says she worked off the debt by braiding hair.
Well, I'm going to cut right to the chase here because the facts are a little bit complicated on the plaintiff's side, so I'm going to just cut right through them. You and the defendant were friends for many years, and she was going through some hard times, and you helped her out. In 1996, you co-signed for a car for her.
Correct.
She couldn't get a car on her own. So far, that's correct.
Right.
And during the next few years, she had serious problems paying for that car. And during the course of several transactions, the car was repossessed. You had to go and sign a paper, again, co-signing in order to make sure your credit was clean and the car was paid for. She got the car back. Got the car. You did not get the car back. But there was a substantial amount left owing on the car, even when they sold it off for whatever. They sold it, and there was a big chunk of money left off. She agreed to pay that so that, again, your credit would not be destroyed. So far, is that correct? You agreed to pay that?
I agreed to pay that with the judge, yes, but she was supposed to have been released from all
But she wasn't. She had to co-sign for you. And as it turned out, you again did not pay that judgment, so that they contacted the plaintiff. Plaintiff ultimately worked out a resolution with them for less money than they wanted, And you paid on her car loan how much?
$2,200.
So you paid $2,200 on the balance of what she owed on the car.
Yes.
And during this same time period, she ran into some additional difficulty. She didn't have money for utilities, and you gave her some additional money.
Yes.
How much?
It was $80 for electric and $126.95 for the gas.
And you acknowledge she gave you that money?
Yes, but it wasn't a loan. She gave it to me.
Oh, she's tripping. She's tripping.
Just a second. Don't speak. 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's $24.06 and change.
Exactly.
Okay,
However,
can
I did
see-
include the certified mail to the attorneys when I sent the check, so I put the $3.90 some odd cents to send it.
Okay. Okay. Your defense to this entire action, Ms. Stewart, is that there was an agreement that you would pay off this debt to the plaintiff by braiding her children's hair.
Right, that I've been doing throughout the years.
Okay. So I want you to tell me about that agreement.
The agreement, she told me that she had to pay the payment back, and that that's what she wound up being stuck with having to do, and that I owed her, and that we would make the arrangements by me braiding the girl's hair and hers. When I met her, she didn't even have any hair, and the kids' hair was in bad condition. But throughout the years and the course of time,
How many years did you braid their hair? Starting when?
94, 95.
So is what you're telling me that she agreed to co-sign for this car loan and she paid off this loan for you because from the time that you were braiding her children's hair, even before you bought the car, in 95, you were braiding her hair and weren't charging her?
No, I was charging her up until that point.
Up until what point?
Up until after I fell delinquent in my car payment.
Until what year?
97, 98, somewhere up in there.
Did you ever have an agreement, Miss Williams, with Miss Stewart, that she could work off this debt she owed you by braiding your children's hair?
No, actually, the debt that she was supposed to work off by braiding the children's hair was for an exercise machine that I loaned her, which got misplaced somehow.
That I've been
and
paid
it was
for.
$300. Exactly, but the machine that that was the only thing that we ever bartered hair for. That's because this costs nothing. This was, as far as I was concerned, an inanimate object. Okay, you lose it, you can do the hair for it, that's fine. But when you put out cash money that could go into my children's mouths, that's a lot different.
The aggravation that you caused her should have caused you to braid her children's hair for nothing. Just the aggravation. Twice, she was subject to legal process. She had to take 20, what kind of work do you do for
Which
a
I
living?
voluntarily went to court with her on to help
Just a
release
second,
her
this is
from
your
it.
thing. What do you mean you voluntarily went with her? You're
I didn't
supposed
have
to voluntarily go
I
with
just
her.
had it stuck on my credit, and that was it.
No, it's also stuck on her credit.
And that's why I went.
You don't get it. What kind of work do you do for a living?
I'm just a homemaker.
Goodness gracious me. Miss Stewart, when somebody extends a helping hand to you, you're supposed to do the right thing. You're not supposed to do the wrong thing.
And that's what I did, Your Honor.
You
by
didn't
going to
do
court with her.
By going to court with her, this was not her debt, it was your debt.
Yeah, but they was talking about taking her house back. Taking her house from her then.
You should have braided her children's hair until they were receiving Social Security for all the trouble you caused her.
I don't
They were
owe
threatening
her.
to take her house away because she co-signed a car for you that you didn't pay for, and you think it was nice of you to go to court with her? Yes. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,409, which includes the certified mail. Goodbye.
Parties, this is case number 439 on the calendar in the matter of Jeffries versus Adu. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Miss Jeffries, you brought your clothes into the defendant's laundromat. According to your complaint, you threw the clothes in the washing machine and then put them in the dryer.
No, ma'am. I never wash my clothes there.
You just dry them?
I just dry them.
So you put them in the dryer, and you
Yes,
put them in the dryer, and you left for a while. When you came back, you found that your clothes had been burned in the dryer. There was fire and smoke. You want the defendant to pay for the cost of your clothes, which you say are worth $500.
Yes,
the defendant has a defense, and he says that you actually caused the fire. Is that right,
Yes,
sir?
Your Honor, that's right.
Okay. When did you take your clothes into the laundromat?
It was December the 11th. It was around between 5 and 5:30 that afternoon.
And you brought them in wet?
Yes.
Put them in the dryer. Were there
Yes.
other people in the laundromat at
Yes,
the time?
there was.
How many other people?
There were only four 4 women.
Put the clothes in the dryer, and where did you go?
I went to the change machine because I only had 4 quarters left. And Miss was there with her child, and she said, you know, the change machine is not working. So I said, well, would you please watch my clothing while I go across?
You had already put the clothing into the dryer and put in your 4 quarters.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I went over to Mr. Dew's store, and I purchased a soda.
No, you didn't go to his, he has a store, another store. He has another
owns a
business.
store and the laundromat.
Okay.
And I purchased a soda and got change. And when I walked in, well, when I first walked into Mr. Dew's laundromat around 5:30, I could smell it burning. You know, just something burning in the air.
You mean before you put your clothes in the dryer?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
There was no smoke. There was just, you know, faint smell of something burning. And when I come back, it was like a cloud of smoke. And I was like, oh my God, what's burning? And I went and I noticed that my dryer had stopped. And I was like, how could it stop that fast? I just put $1 in there. But the machine was still running, Your Honor. It was making a humming sound, but it was not turning. So at that point, I opened up the dryer, and this is what I found. And this isn't all of them. This is just, you know, I couldn't bring all the clothing.
Why not?
There's a lot.
Because she's lying.
I am not lying. You're lying. This is what I got back. All of my work shirts, my children's school uniforms were charred, burnt.
Okay. Bird, bring that stuff up here, would you? What kind of work do you do?
I'm a banquet captain at a hotel.
So you have work shirts? These are your work shirts?
Those are my work shirts.
Okay.
When I pulled those clothes out, I immediately put them in the basket and took them back to the store where Mr. Adu's brother was working. He came out from behind the counter. He took all the clothing out of the basket, and he said, oh, my God. He immediately put everyone out of the store, and me and him walked back over to the laundromat. The dryer was still humming at that time. It was still humming, but it wasn't spinning. He stuck his hand in there. It was very hot, you know, and he said, don't worry. I will call Mr. Adu.
Okay, Mr. Adu, your turn.
Your Honor, I'm here to say I came over when I heard there had been a burning incident at the laundromat.
You were not present?
No. I have another business across
So
town.
you were not present when this happened?
No.
Is anyone here today?
Yes, I have a witness who was there. I mean,
Your Honor, that man was not there.
Don't interrupt.
Who was there? And,
That day. Step up, sir.
This is Fred. And Fred?
Shh, don't tell me what Fred. Fred will tell me what Fred. Fred, do you have a last name?
Beatty.
Beatty.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Beatty, are you an employee of the defendants?
I helps him do a lot of things around there.
So you're an employee?
Yeah.
Were you there in the laundromat on the 11th of December?
I wasn't in the laundromat, but I walked around and went through the front. I seen her with the dryer door open, with the lighter in her hand, but I didn't figure nothing.
Liar?
Shh. Miss Jeffries, do not speak until I look at you. You saw her with a lighter in her hand.
Yeah, I was standing in the door with it open, but I didn't figure nothing was burned, so I went on about my business. I didn't find out till late on that night that had happened.
So you didn't, other than the fact that you saw the door open and she had a lighter in her hand.
Yes.
Why would I burn my own clothes?
Miss Jeffries, you want me to dismiss your case right now?
No, ma'am.
You know I'll do that. But you didn't see anything else?
No,
And
I
you
didn't
saw
pay.
the dryer open?
Yes.
Did you see any smoke coming out of the dryer?
No.
Did you smell anything?
No.
Okay, and that's all that you saw?
Yeah, till late on the night where I found it in the dryer.
Later on that evening, you found something?
Yes, after they confronted me and said that her clothes had caught on fire in the dryer.
Yes.
A piece of the lighter that had melted.
Just a minute. You went back to search the dryer?
No, I did.
He searched.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I came in, initially I thought the whole place was on fire. So I came in right away and I saw, she showed me, she spread her clothes on the laundry table and she picked up four of those shirts. Those were those that I saw were burned. And she said, oh, these are my work uniforms. They cost $25 a piece at Freedom Mall. I felt some sympathy for her, and right away I went into my wallet and said, this is $100 for the 4 uniforms, buy some clothes and go to work tomorrow. And she hesitated and then pulled back and said, maybe I may get more in court. So she picked her clothes and left.
Okay.
After that, I went behind the laundry machine to be sure if there are any burned wires, any burned screens, anything, but I saw nothing. Everything looked normal. Then I came back, looked in the cylinder, and in the cylinder, I found a pink spot.
Let me see.
Stay there, sir.
All right. This is a pink spot I found, sorry. This is a pink spot I found in the cylinder, and then when I pulled the screen, I saw those spots there also on the screen. And
okay.
And then also this melted piece of a lighter.
This pink piece of plastic you found in the machine like this, sir?
Yeah, it was in the cylinder.
Vernetta Jeffrey says a defective dryer at Joseph Adu's laundromat burned her clothes. Joseph says Vernetta is trying to scam him.
Go ahead.
And then I also picked up all the lint from that screen, the screen she used. And this is the lint from the very same screen she used that same day.
Feel like a detective.
And
crime scene.
They were not burned at all. It was just lint like it's supposed to. So this, to me, shows me the fire did not start from the dryer itself. If the dryer catches on fire, it will burn the whole clothes. Everything will burn.
Thank you.
And on the other hand, with a lighter in a cylinder, the lighter will explode, and the few clothes around it will catch fire, and once the butane runs out, that will be it. And I sympathize with her grief, but I do not sympathize with her greed. I offered her $100. She turned it down. Later on, she sent me a note that she would take $250. And she went to court, and then she asked for $500. Now, I wonder, with Judge Judy, how much she wants now. Maybe $1,000 or $2,000?
I see something, Your Honor.
Oh. Oh,
see,
no,
this
no,
is
no,
what
no,
I
no,
had
no,
to
no,
deal
no,
with
no.
that
I have a
night.
few questions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you smoke?
No.
Anybody in your family smoke?
No, that's just
Did
me
you
and my
ever-
5 children.
Did you have a pink lighter that
No,
day?
ma'am.
Mr. Adu, let me tell you something. You're not an expert on fire.
Not close.
Right. So there are certain things that you say that may make sense if she did, in fact, have a cigarette lighter that she left in her clothes that exploded. I find it interesting, however, that the writing on this little piece that you say you found in the dryer, the writing is clear so that nobody could mistake this, even a stupid judge like me could mistake this for a cigarette lighter. That with all the fire that was going on in this dryer, and that was some pretty bad fire, Mr. Adu, right? This one piece that says it was a cigarette lighter miraculously escaped any sense of fire. You know, like someone was watching over it. That's number one. Number two, Mr. Adu, it's also miraculous, even in the eyes of this stupid judge, that despite all of this fire, which you acknowledge happened in the dryer, no matter whose fault it is, that lint that you brought shows no indication of any fire. It's just old scuzzy lint. So the two pieces of evidence that you brought that would, in your mind, clearly indicate that this was caused by a fire of her making, I find a little suspect, Mr. Adu. Now, the letter that you wrote to him says that you want $100 for your shirts, $100 for your children's clothes that were there, and another $50 because you had to lose a day of work. Forget about losing the day of work. You should have had an extra shirt home. If you didn't have an extra shirt home, Miss Jeffries, I don't believe that. So at that point, you had $100 for your clothes and $100 for your children's clothes, and all of a sudden you file a small claims court case for $500. I also think that that's unreasonable.
May I explain?
Sure.
When Mr. Dew finally arrived at the laundromat, he came directly to the dryer with another gentleman. They went behind it, they went in it. I stood there for about 45 minutes before Mr. Dew even acknowledged me. Then he came over, he took everything out of my basket, laid it on the counter, went through it. He then looked at me and said, I will give you $100 for your shirts. And I said, that's fine, Mr. Adu. What about my children's clothing? He became hysterical, Your Honor.
He's hysterical.
He was outraged.
He became hysterical. He didn't treat you well.
No, he did not. He was nasty. He was rude. He screamed at me. He said, what do you think? You think you're going to get $1,000 for these
And
clothes?
maybe a little bit dishonest? Anyway, the damage that you had, according to you, was $200, correct?
That's all I was asking for.
You got it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I sympathize with her grief. That's why I offered $100.
Mr. Adu knew that all of my clothing was burnt in his dryer. He knows it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Wiles versus Harps. Step forward, please.
48-year-old professional clown Donna Wiles and her daughter, 15-year-old Sarah Wiles, are suing 47-year-old contractor Gary Harpst and his son, 16-year-old Cody Harpst. Sarah says during a high school football game, Cody broke her cell phone when he dumped water on her.
Mrs. Wiles, this is your daughter?
Yes.
And Mr. Herbst, this is your son.
Yes, ma'am.
This complaint alleges that the defendant's son threw a bucket of water on your daughter, fooling around and being a jerk, and that caused her to get wet. And in addition to her getting wet, a cell phone that was in her purse got wet. And you say it's not functioning as it should. You want a new cell phone.
Yes, ma'am.
What the case is about. Where did this happen?
It was at my school, Francis Howell North, at a football game.
How did you get wet?
There was a bucket of water that Cody had from the football players. They gave it to him to fill it up to pour water on their coach, when instead he came back with it and said, I'll pour it right here, and poured it on me, and it got on me and in my purse.
When did you realize that your cell phone was not working properly?
Maybe 5 minutes after that, someone told me to look at my purse. I looked, there was water dripping from it. My cell phone was in there. I opened it, took it out. The batteries were wet. It wasn't working then, and it can't receive calls or anything now.
Speak.
I wasn't the only person that threw the water on her. My friend Andrew also helped me throw the water.
How did he do that?
Because it was a big bucket and it had handles on it, and we both threw it on her. I was not the only person that threw it on her.
So?
And I did not think that the water that landed on her would have broke her cell phone. I didn't see her carrying a purse. And from what I heard, her purse had a flap over it and was a thick purse.
Why did you throw the water on her?
To be funny, she was being loud and annoying.
How was she being loud and annoying?
Because they were on our side of the field in the beginning of the game, and their principal told them to go back on their side. And they came back over, and they were just being mouthy and talking
Who's
trash
they?
about our school. Her and her two other friends.
So they were cheering for their school?
Yeah,
On your side?
on our side.
So you threw water on her?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are you?
16.
Mr. Harpst, you want to say anything to me?
Well, like Cody said, I don't believe I should have been the only one sued in this matter. Cody was punished by me for his actions. He was forced to apologize to Mrs. Wiles. But like Cody said, two people threw the bucket of water on a girl. Neither one of them were in the right, but I don't believe I should take the full brunt.
You're absolutely right. You shouldn't. Once I enter a judgment against you, sir, I think that you should proceed against Andrew for half. Why should she have to be bothered to go sue two people?
I don't
know either. I mean, he did a foolish thing. He didn't see that she had a purse. Her purse had a flap. He wasn't the only one. Somebody else held the handle. Did anybody else hold the handle?
There was other people, but the only person I saw and said anything was Cody, so.
Okay. You have a bill for the cell phone?
I do. Can I also say something? When this happened that evening, I did call the Harps house and spoke to Mr. Harps. And after I was telling him what happened, he told me that she shouldn't have had a cell phone, she shouldn't have had a purse at the football game, and she shouldn't have been on the other side. And I finally told him that was not the issue, and he thought, too, Sarah instigated it. I asked him to talk to Cody, have Cody call me. Cody did call that evening, and Cody did say he was sorry for pouring water on Sarah and for getting her phone wet. He never said, we are sorry that there was a group. The only other time I heard there could have been other kids involved was on the 5th phone call when I finally did talk to Mr. Harps to ask what was going to be done. And he said nothing.
Yes, sir.
I have an affidavit signed by Andrew who said that he was involved with Cody.
Oh, good. That's going to make your job much easier, Mr. Harpst.
Ma'am, I'd also like to know if the $250 replacement cost is legitimate also.
Well, then let me see the bill.
I have the statement from Verizon and my actual receipt showing what we paid for the phone And to replace that phone, it's going to be that because we had got the phone cheaper on a 2-year contract, but it's there. And I do have a picture of the bucket if you need to see it.
I don't.
Okay.
I have a list of replacement costs of phones.
Well, why should they take a different phone from the phone that they have?
I would like to know if they're upgrading it or not. I don't see
No,
them
I have a
paying
letter
more
from-
than the value of the one that was ruined.
Sir, Verizon Wireless itself says that the phone's actual retail value and the cost of replacement is $229.99. That's what it says. Now, I'm sure you can get a cheaper phone, but why should you have to get a cheaper phone? Because of his stupidity.
Was there a statement that the phone was ruined in the first place?
Well, why do you think that they're taking their time here
Well,
for, sir?
if there was the last phone bill, I'd like to know if the phone worked
Here's my
beyond
phone
that
bills.
date.
We haven't used it since October 3rd was the day we tried to use it, and that's when I went to Verizon. There's the second phone bill for the prior months, and nothing has been used.
Okay.
It's just the basic phone
I'll
bill
take
rate.
your word for that. Okay.
Fine. Okay. When you act foolishly, sir, there are consequences. Let us say that you poured water on a pocketbook that she was carrying, and there was no phone inside. And the pocketbook she was carrying was a $200 pocketbook. Not outrageous. Don't go look like that. That's not outrageous.
I'm sorry, you said $200 pocketbook.
Because it's not outrageous.
You're
I
right.
know, you use your pockets. But in ladies' terms, it's not outrageous. And let's say you got watermarks on the pocketbook. Well, it's not ruined. You could still put things in it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what a pocketbook is supposed to be used for, to put things in. But if it doesn't look the same because there are watermarks on it, then you have to fix it. So there are consequences for being stupid. And this consequence is $229.99. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you.
Pfizer, excuse you.
7. 6, 7.